Hello, 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 hello. Truck drivers, truck drivers, truck drivers. Let me turn this mic up so I can hear it in headpiece. Listen, I want to put on your mind assets. Assets, assets, assets. Okay? Assets. You guys heard of a rainy day fund, right? So you want to put some change away in case the truck break down, need some hotel money, whatever. Anything goes on, rainy day fund, all right? You need to do the same in your total life, okay? If you want to know the difference between the rich and the poor, is one word: assets. The wealthy understand how to accumulate assets and build wealth. Okay? What we want to do is we want to limit our liabilities, but you can't go through life not making payments on something or not owing money on something. That's not practical. We all have to buy things, we all have to do things. So you're going to make payments. But what you want to do is build that asset base. So we're talking about stocks, bonds, real estate, gold, silver, crypto, Bitcoin, whatever it is. Okay, intellectual property. Do you write books? Do you have content? Assets. One of the absolute easiest assets to acquire are stocks. Stocks to me are amazing and fantastic. Okay, it is incredibly easy to get into the stock game. Now, I am not telling you it is easy to pick a stock. I am saying it is easy to get into and access to stocks. So if you wanted to create wealth and you wanted to build an asset base that you can tap into later if you need funds for whatever's going on in your life, building a portfolio of solid stocks will help you out. So, what is a stock? I'm glad you asked. Here we go. Stock is a financial instrument that represents a portion of ownership. Hear that? Ownership in a company. All right. So let's give an example. Some of you work for Swift. Guess what? KNX is Swift. Stock symbol. Check it out. You work for the company. You see the company making money. Why not be a part of that growth of the company? Invest in KNX. That's Swift stock. JBHT, for you JB Hunt people out there. Guess what? JBHT is the ticker symbol for the stock. You now can be not just a driver, not just an owner, operator, or contractor. You can be part ownership and ride the ride as the company's going up. So instead of complaining that the company's making all the money and they're not passing it down to you, the driver, be a part of the ownership. Buy the stock. Okay? Very simple. I'm telling you guys, this is so simple, it's silly. But truckers see everything. You guys are the absolute best economists in the country. You see everything from New York to California. All right? You see everything from north to south. You see the businesses closing. You see the communities dying off or growing and expanding. You see the trains. You see the new cars on the road. You see the new products. You guys have a fantastic vantage point that the average American doesn't have. So you see these companies, you see how their products and services are working. You can invest in these companies. So I'm trying to put it on your brain that we need to get into the stock game. Okay, now stocks are also known as equities. Okay, so companies have two ways to raise money. They can raise money through debt, or they can raise money through equity. Now, debt are bonds. So if you buy a bond from a company, invest in their bonds, they're just going to pay you back some interest in the money that you paid into the bond. But you have no ownership. If you get into the stock of the company, now you have what's called equity, and that allows you to have ownership in such company. Now, how do stocks work? Companies issue stock on the stock exchange to raise money. Usually when companies are trying to buy more trucks, buy more equipment, buy more land, want to improve operations, they need to raise money. So they go to the public market, which is the stock market, and they ask people to buy their stock so they can get this money and invest it into the growth and future business of the company. Now, investors buy and sell stocks based on their expectations of the company's future earnings and dividends. All right. And my suggestion, you want to buy stocks that offer you a dividend. You want to buy in companies that reward you for participating. And by that reward, I mean give you a dividend for owning their stock. Now, to each their own, and there's many ways to do this, and you don't have to be a dividend player, but it is a fantastic way to boost your income and your growth of what you're earning on your stock is getting into dividend stocks. Okay. Now, stock prices fluctuate and can go up or down, minor or significantly. You have to understand this. Investing in stock is a risk. Now, here's the catch. If you buy a stock, it cannot go past zero. So you're not going to be owing if, say, something happens to the company or they go bankrupt. You will just lose what you invested into the stock, but you will not owe more than you invested. Investors can also earn returns on their stocks through capital gains and dividends. We spoke about dividends. When the company makes money, it pays out all their bills and everything they needed to operate, and what's left over, they divide it up and they pass that out. And you usually can get dividend payments like twice a year, right? Also, there's something called capital gains. So if you buy a stock for $20 and at the end of the year it's worth $23, you made $3 on each share of stock that you have. So that's a capital gains. That's positive. Now, there are two types of stocks. You have common stock and you have preferred stock. Let's get into common stock. Common stock gives the owner voting rights as a shareholder in meetings and the right to receive dividends. So if you have stock, your brokerage, say you buy from an online brokerage like Charles Schwab or Interactive Brokers or whoever. I'm not sponsoring anyone, so I'm just throwing it out. What will happen is you will get letters that say, hey, there's a vote coming up, or this is what is going on with the business. Also, you can go on the company's shareholder or investors page. So if you go look up Coca-Cola, go to Coca-Cola's investors page and you can see what's going on with the company. You can see votes coming up. You can see everything going on. And you being a shareholder, a common stock holder, you can participate. Now, preferred stock is a little bit different. It gives the owner a higher claim on the company's assets and earnings. I will explain that. Than common stock. Preferred stockholders usually don't have voting rights. Now, let's go back to the first part. It gives the owner a higher claim on a company's assets. If, unfortunately, a company goes into bankruptcy and cannot operate anymore, they have to liquidate everything and try to pay off that debt, okay? Now, bondholders, what you call debt holders, where we talk about debt and equity, debt holders will be paid first. Then it will be preferred holders. That's why it says it gives the owner a higher claim on companies' assets and earnings. Then it will be common stockholders. Okay. So generally when you hear people saying, oh, I'm going to buy some stock, usually they're talking about going the common stockholder route. That is the most popular and easier way to get into the stock of any company. Okay, now, how to invest in stocks. All right, we're going to wrap this up because I don't want to keep you too long because I know you got to get down the road. Investors can buy individual stocks or invest in stock funds such as mutual funds and exchange traded funds. Now, this is important. If you think you understand a company, if you think you've done enough research, and you confidently can predict this company is going to be on the rise, it's going to go, okay? You can invest in individual stocks with confidence and really feel you're going to make some money. Now, I will be honest with you. Professionals struggle with picking stock. It is a statistical fact. It has been proven time and time again. A lot of these big time people you see on Bloomberg and CNBC wearing the nice suits cannot beat the stock market. Warren Buffett did an actual competition against a hedge fund guy and said, you pick stock, paraphrase, I'll just play the market. Guess who won? Warren Buffett. Remember this, if you buy into the market, into an index, a rising tide raises all boats. But if you buy a single stock and that stock doesn't move, you don't get anything. At least if you buy into the market, other stocks in the market can help pull you up. So you're making money as the market's making money. That's why people really focus on index investing and investing in these type of funds, because they want to get the market returns. So if you don't think you're going to spend enough time studying individual stocks, individual companies, looking at their earnings sheets, right? Looking at all their documents, their financials, and following the company, if you don't feel like you want to give it that kind of time, just buy an index fund, right? And ETFs, exchange traded funds, you can buy the index and ETFs. Makes it real simple, easy breezy, right? So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening to this. Please think assets, assets, assets. You're out there driving that truck. You don't have to be week to week with your money. Sometimes you're not even going to want to come out and drive the truck for a week. You want to take some days off, but you're like, man, I need some money. Guess what? You got a portfolio. You got a portfolio, and hopefully that portfolio is paying you dividend income and other things, and it's growing. So you have access to money. All right. Remember, assets are the difference between the rich and the poor. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep, and where are you working that money. Money is supposed to be worked, not sitting dormant somewhere. We want to keep that money working and growing for us while we're working and growing. All right. Love you guys. See you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Pass this video to any trucker you think it may help, any non-trucker you think it will help. And I'll see you in the next video. Love you. Be safe.